What I'm about to show you guys today has a number of practical uses. It's very easy to build and only uses a small amount of resources. What's up, agents? Zero here, and welcome back to another Minecraft Pocket Edition Redstone video. It's honestly been a while since I've done one of these because I got started on the whole piston house project and I kind of abandoned the whole redstone tutorials like I originally started my channel. But I'm going to be bringing these tutorials back on a regular basis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate between piston house videos and actual redstone videos. So those of you who've been on my channel for a while, you remember the redstone tutorials that I usually did. You're going to be getting those back relatively shortly. So today what I want to show you guys is a very simple block swapper. As you can tell, I've got myself a crafting table right here. If I go ahead and flick this lever, we now have ourselves a furnace. And if I go ahead and show you guys inside the furnace, it's got all the coal inside, so the pistons do not affect the inventory of the furnace whatsoever. Now, I do want to go ahead and mention that for those of you who are playing on PC, this is not possible. Furnaces are one of the blocks that pistons are not able to move around. I figured that if you were in fact PC playing PC Minecraft, I came out weird, and you want to build this kind of thing, you cannot use the furnace. You do have a lot more limited things that you can go ahead and use it with. I do want to go ahead and mention that one of the downsides to this particular design is that it has to be up against the wall. It doesn't actually have to be standing out from the wall. You can put it in the wall, or in fact, if you want, you can put it directly into the floor. But the thing is, you have to put it directly up against the wall. Otherwise, you're going to run into an issue where the pistons are going to be sticking out from either the wall or the floor. So that is one of the downsides. Now, I do want to go ahead and mention that this was not actually originally designed by me. This was designed by a guy by the name of MUMBO'S. About a month or so ago, he did a video regarding some hidden lighting systems, and towards the end of the video, he did a design on some hidden block swapping mechanics on being able to switch out like light sources for regular blocks so you don't know anything's there. I'll make sure I have a link down in the description. You want to check out that video. He did mention that he used this for like hitting crafting table systems, which I think is a relatively smart idea. I mean, technically this crafting table isn't actually hidden, but the actual furnace itself is actually hidden, and I actually had to do a little bit of minor adjusting to the redstone in order to get to work on Pocket. I say minor, some of you guys don't even know how minor it is, because I do a lot of redstone work to begin with, so me saying minor doesn't actually necessarily say much. But now that you understand what's going on, let's go ahead and build this. Now, in order to build your block swapper, you're going to need a 1x5 area, and you're going to need to dig down 3 blocks. I know that is an incredibly tiny space for something like this, but trust me, it's enough space. I do want to go ahead and mention that if you want to put this in the floor instead of 1 block above the floor, you're going to have to dig down an additional block, so it will end up being 4 blocks instead of 3. Now, right here, this granite block is the exact spot where the blocks are going to end up swapping. Now, inside of this chest is all the materials that you're going to need in order to build it. You're going to need 5 building blocks of your choice, 1 block of redstone, 1 redstone torch, 2 redstone repeaters, 3 sticky pistons, and that's it for as far as the redstone is concerned. Now, obviously, you're going to need some blocks of which you're going to swap around. I'm going to be using a crafting table in the furnace again, and then you're also going to need some form of input. I'm just going to use redstone dust and lever. You can do whatever you want for your input. It really doesn't matter. You can in fact do like a button and a T flip-flop circuit if you really know how to build one of these. I have done a video on T flip-flop circuits before. If you guys want to go and check that, I'll have a link in the description. You will go and check that out. It is one of my older videos, one of my redstone 101 videos, so you can go ahead and check that out. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this. Basically, what you want to do is go ahead and start from this granite block right here, and you want to move up 1, 2, 3 blocks. On this 3rd block right here, go ahead and place the block down, then come to the back of it, go ahead and place down one of your repeaters in this direction. Then you want to swing back to the front, go ahead and place a sticky piston facing in this direction, facing away from your repeater. Place a block on top of the piston, then go ahead and place a redstone block on its face. then what you want to do is come up a little bit, leave this space open, and then one space above it, go ahead and place in the sticky piston. What this is going to do is going to allow the redstone block enough room to come below the piston and allow it to extend, because that's the way redstone blocks work. They provide redstone power. Now what you want to do is place on top of this sticky piston the second block. This is going to be your hidden block, so I'm going to go ahead and place the furnace down. Now what you want to do is go ahead and go behind this repeater and go ahead and place down a block right there, so it's directly behind the repeater. Go ahead and place down a redstone torch on top of that block. Take your blocks out right again. Then place a block on top of the redstone torch. Place a block to the side of the redstone torch, just like this. Go ahead and come around to the back and place down another repeater facing outwards. It should come on. And go ahead and set this to 2 ticks. Now what you want to do is go ahead and take out your last sticky piston, and what you want to do is you want to go ahead and have it be directly in front of your repeater. Now you can do this in one of 2 ways. If you're actually careful enough, you can go ahead and go into snake mode, and you can go ahead and click directly onto the repeater in order to place this down. Something I would recommend is getting out an extra building block. Place it down like this, so it's a lot easier to place down. Then go ahead and place down your sticky piston like this. It should extend. So now all you have to do is go ahead and place down the block that's going to be extended most of the time, and that's actually the entire circuit all done. So the only thing you have left to do is actually go ahead and kind of clean up the entire area. So I'm just going to put down like an example wall. This really isn't necessary. You can decorate this however you want. And then what you do want to go ahead and do is wire this up. So I'm going to go ahead and break down the block right here, break down 2 blocks, and I'm just going to go ahead, come right around just like this until you reach this block right here where the redstone torch is located. So go ahead and place redstone dust all along just like this. I'm going to place a block right on top of this redstone dust right here. And go ahead and place the lever down on top of this block. And that is completely it. You are completely done. That is the entire block swapper circuit, all completely done. Now, I did mention that I did make a few modifications to Mumbo Jumbo's design, and I feel like I should go ahead and mention what those changes are, so that if you are in fact playing on PC, these changes aren't entirely necessary. So the first thing is that this block right here that has the piston underneath it, PC redstone mechanics, you do not need this block right here. However, because of the way redstone mechanics are in Pocket Edition, it's absolutely necessary to have this block right here. Also on his design, this repeater was set to 1 tick. Tick timings in a PC Minecraft and Pocket Edition are actually a little bit different, and so if you're on PC, you do not need to set this to 2 ticks. However, on Pocket Edition, obviously I wouldn't have set it to 2 ticks if it wasn't going to work that way. But other than that, that's pretty much all the redstone work done. That's everything all completely done. You're completely done with your entire block swapper circuit. Now, before I end this video off, I do have 3 further examples that I think are kind of important to know. First off, you can in fact use these with chests. Obviously, I didn't really do a good job of hiding not only the second chest, but also the piston. The piston's fairly obvious. The second chest is fairly obvious, but I just kind of wanted to do this to kind of exemplify one of the things you can do, because you can, in fact, use chests with this design. It works perfectly fine. And as you can tell, it actually does not affect the inventories of the chests themselves. Now, if you are in fact on PC, this is also not possible. Like over there, I said that it's not possible with the furnace because furnaces, pistons cannot move. However, in this case, in PC, pistons will actually break chests and cause them to drop their entire inventories all over the ground, so you do want to keep that in mind. Something else that you can go ahead and do this is that you can go ahead and use this with more than 1 piston section at a time. This is actually something known as a modular design. Actually, is modular design? No, actually, this is technically a tileable design. I don't know why I said modular. I'm a bit of an idiot. Okay, so basically what this means is, like I said, you can use more than 1 at once. So what I've done is I've done this, and I've got myself another 2 sets of chests. Now, I do want to go ahead and mention that with this, you cannot actually use double chests with pistons, because if you put down a double chest and pistons are involved, the chests are just going to end up breaking. That's why this is a a set of two separate chests instead of a double chest, because pistons break that. And the way you set this up is just simply run your redstone line up to the back and place repeaters directly into the blocks where your redstone torches are. And if you want to, you can actually set up so it has a different tick timing so that they come up and down at slightly different times. So if I go ahead and set this one to 4 ticks instead, this is just kind of a little bit of an example. So the crafting table will go down first, and then the furnace will go. Just like that. Now, that is one of the things you can do. Now, as I mentioned in the tutorial, if you want to go ahead and do this, you can go ahead and put this into the floor, but the only thing is that you have to dig down 1 extra block. So instead of 3 blocks, like I said, you have to dig down 4. And this is one of the most practical uses that I have ever found for this particular design, is actually to legitimately hide a chest, because you can't actually see anything right now. If I go and flick this lever, there's our chest right there. So you can in fact use this to hide chests if you really want to. It's actually very easy to do. The only thing is you will have to figure out a way to hide the redstone, especially if you decide to do it above the ground, because then the redstone does in fact stick out. So I guess one of the best places to go ahead and put this and not have anyone know about it is like if you if you're doing it in a single player world where it doesn't really matter, although the terrain wouldn't look very good, or if you have like a base in like a cave or something, like dig the side of a mountain out, you can hide this in there and no one will know the difference. Now, there will be a world download link in the description if you guys want to go ahead and check this out for yourself, but that's going to have to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Well, more than make sure to hit that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at AgentCPU0 to stay updated. This has been Zero Studios. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I will see you guys later.